A warm good evening to all our viewers across the country and abroad. I am Dr. Raj Lakshmi Mishra from Techno India University, Kolkata, and I welcome you all to a very special live show, Shaping Your Career Dreams, brought to you by our university. Today, I have the privilege of having with us not one but nine stalwarts from their respective fields who have been kind enough to grace the TIU studios and enlighten us all with their vast knowledge. Seven of them are already here with us, and we are waiting for two more experts to join us soon. They are all eminent professors and researchers from their respective fields, and they come from one of the most prestigious institutions across the country, be it IIT Kharagpur, ISI Kolkata, NIT Durgapur, IEST Shibpur, University of Calcutta, Jadavpur University, Calcutta Medical College, and so our very own TIU. Madam and sir, welcome to the show. It's my pleasure to have an opportunity of this interaction, and I'm honored to share the screen space with you. So recently, the West Bengal joint and NEET results have been published, and the JEE advanced results are expected to be out by the 10th of June. So this is a crucial but confusing time for the students. This is the time for them to give a shape to their upcoming career. The school creates a base for the students, but as students finish their schooling and prepare to begin their competitive career, at times it's very confusing for them to make the right decision in choosing the correct stream or the correct institute as a foundation of their professional lives. So this is the broad arena that we'll be speaking about today, and have the insights and opinion of all of you present here. To all our students watching us, please stay tuned in, as this is a golden opportunity to clear all your doubts. So I'll begin with my first question to Dr. Gautam Paul. Welcome to this show, sir. Dr. Paul is the head of the Department of Cryptography at Indian Statistical Institute, Kolkata. So, sir, ISI Kolkata offers B.STAT and M.STAT programs, which enables students to apply for jobs across various computing platforms. So, would you please elaborate on the difference between engineering division and B.STAT?
Okay, so B.STAT and engineering have totally different flavor.
Right.
So, normally those who are mathematically oriented, like those who identify themselves to be very fond of mathematics or statistics, they tend to go to B.STAT. And it's a very tough course. Actually, there is a separate admission test for which the students must appear, and they need to clear the interview also. Now, there are many students who every year they clear both B.STAT and some engineering admission program. And we observe that depending on the students' confidence, they tend to choose one over the other. Like someone may be ranking very high in the engineering stream, but opting for B.STAT.
He is inclined towards
inclined
that.
towards
Right.
it. On the other hand, the opposite is also seen quite often. But one thing I must add, because nowadays it's an interdisciplinary field everywhere, right? And particularly computing is applied in all the disciplines, right? Not only in computer science, but in other branches of engineering as well as non-engineering domains, non-engineering science domains. So what I see that data analytics or data science, like that's also an offshoot of statistics or mathematics. But apart from that, those students who pursue B.STAT, M.STAT, and doctoral programs and higher education in statistics or mathematics, often in order to solve a practical problem using stat or math, they have to apply some algorithm or some computational methods. So eventually they also come in contact with the computer science or computer engineering flavor in their course. So I would say that keep an open eye, and to judge, the students should be able to judge themselves that what is their best interest.
Right.
And then in future all the options will be open, like to mix and match
Very true,
different.
very true. the inclination towards a particular subject is the most important thing while
Definitely.
choosing a stream. That's true.
Yes.
Okay, so ma'am, my next question is to Dr. Sudeshna Shorkar. Dr. Shorkar is professor and head of the department Computer Science Engineering, IIT Kharagpur. Ma'am, we all know that IITs are the best, but there is not even an iota of doubt about that. But would you like to speak about advising choosing a degree in computer science in, say, Jadavpur University over an electronics degree in IIT Kharagpur? What is your thoughts about that?
Ma'am, first of all, IIT Kharagpur is a great institution, and
Very true.
I think
Everybody
Jadavpur
agrees.
University is also a great institution. So both institutions are very good. Coming to the disciplines of computer science and electronics, I think both disciplines are also excellent disciplines. Today we find that computing is used in much broader fields everywhere. So it appears that a degree in computer science has a wider spectrum of jobs availability. But I would not say that electronics engineering and its different flavors, they are also equally good. As as the technology cycles proceed, as the people have to keep abreast of what are the current what are the current things which are happening, what type of jobs or what type of career options one chooses, and it is possible to choose one's career paths both from computer science as well as electronics. One have to be aware of the world, keep their eyes open, educate themselves and also prepare themselves well.
Right.
So I would say, again, if you compare between IIT Kharagpur and Jadavpur, it also depends on what type of environment suits you well. For me, IIT Kharagpur being a fully residential campus, having great peer groups, lots of opportunities,
Right.
different student clubs, academic atmosphere, it's a great place. Similarly, Jadavpur University is also a very vibrant campus with lots of opportunities. So one has to, and again, one has to also look at the inclination,
Yes,
computer
yes.
science.
We just talked about.
Right, right. So, whether you are more mathematically inclined, electronics of course
Very
is
true.
also a mathematical subject, but there are also more, hardware oriented, more of what is your knack, similar to computer engineering. So, one has to really look at if somebody has got these options, that person must be good. They must choose based on the inclinations, whether the field, which field interests them more, if that is their priority. And there are people who are more interested in a overall experience of a college. So they have to choose which experience appeals to them more,
Exactly.
or which degree appeals, which field appeals to them more. I think
Do you
all are
think there is a
excellent.
difference in the scope when they set out their feet outside the college
Yes,
campus?
the scope may be different because the fields are different, but that is subject to change.
Right,
What
right.
is the
Very true.
scope today will change
Might not be
tomorrow.
tomorrow. Very
I
true.
know. So people have to keep themselves updated. They have to get a good fundamental, you know, really have the inclination. Even people from a non-statistics background like electronics may go into, I'm just saying,
Of course.
it's possible, some aspect like say cryptographic hardware or something, or a person from computer science can go into cryptography or into artificial intelligence and vice versa. So it is important to have a very broad base, to like the field what you are doing, find interest in that and prepare oneself well.
Right, right. Thank you so much for that insight, ma'am. I'll move on with my next question to Dr. Proshenjit Chaudhary. Dr. Chaudhary is Associate Professor, Department of Computer Science Engineering, NIT Durgapur. So, sir, let's assume that a student is very good at mathematics, but for some reason he or she did not crack the joint entrance exam. So, what according to you is the best field to choose, computing field or core field?
Well, it depends on actually the career goal of the individual, right? So first of the, if a student is very good in math, then there are many options are there these days, you see. As ma'am told, that is, if the goal of the student is to become as a data scientist, he can opt for AI and ML. Different courses are these days are there, and some specialization in every branch of engineering. You see, the competency in mathematics is very, very important. Without these, you cannot flourish, right? So many options are there. Even in fundamental, that is basic science, he can opt for basic science, physics, math, etc. And these days, you see, there is another area. It is becoming very popular. That is quantum computing. Okay. So knowledge of physics and math is very important. So I think if a student is very good in math, he can opt for any branch of engineering, and ultimately it depends on the career goal.
Right.
Or his inclination.
Right. So it's very important for the student to channelize his.
It depends on his interest.
Very true. Very true.
Then he can decide.
Sir, we all know that now there are a number of new NITs which were not there earlier, and if we leave out the 6 old NITs that were established earlier, so can you compare the newly established ones with the other top private institutions that are streaming same courses?
It is very difficult to compare. Every new NIT is also good. They are having good quality faculties, right? So it is actually very difficult to compare with the private universities. In different perspective, every institute and universities are good in their own aspects, right? So new NITs, like IIT Guwahati, you can think. IIT Guwahati is very new. Now you see in NIFR ranking, it is in 8th position probably.
Right.
So it does not depends actually. It depends on the environment, infrastructure, and the faculty strength.
Does it also interfere with the placement opportunities, or it doesn't?
Yeah. Reputation of the institute plays a major role in placement, right?
Yes.
Because the corporates are giving weightage on based on the reputation. Like IIT Kharagpur, if you consider IIT Kharagpur or NIT Durgapur or Jadavpur University, most of that is they are offering good packages in compared to other.
That's what I wanted to ask actually. So yeah, it depends a little on the reputation of the right. Very true. Okay, sir, I'll come next to you. With me, I have Dr. Shushanto Chakraborty. Dr. Chakraborty is ex-professor, Department of CSE, IEST, Shibpur. Currently, he is the Director, School of Computing, Techno India University. Sir, when a student sets up his mind to study computer science for the job perspective, there are many platforms he or she can reach out to. For example, computer science in AI, computer science special data science, CS special IoT, which is now being approved by the AICTE also. So how will you correlate all of these? What according to you will be the best?
Just I will start from beginning, why we study. We study to improve the quality of life of the society, to improve the cultural development of the society, and to improve to be a good human being. So the self-realization. So Rabindranath Tagore also says that the aim of the education is the self-realization. He goes through the imagination and his own universal truths.
Very true.
So he shows this in the drama through Amal. And also we have shown, if we quote from Albert Einstein, that knowledge and imagination is also very important. And also from Marie Curie we can quote,
right,
and that the new idea is also one of the idea is one of the important issue in education. So in a teaching learning process or in a research, this intuition, idea, innovation is very, very important. And engineering, why we study the engineering? So we study engineering, we just, we, from the natural science and mathematics, we, from the experience of this natural science and mathematics, we, apply this in the form of a technology and to improve the mankind or to improve the society. For example, earlier we have in a bullock cart. Now we are going through car, and next time driverless car. Like this way, we are going. We are improving day by day.
Right.
So it is important for the teacher and the academic institution to improve to the student the imagination, intuition, and motivation. So this is the main purpose of the academic institution and administration of the academic institution, also the teachers. Next we come to this point, the subject. The fundamental knowledge is very important. So technology is changing day by day, and in future it will again change. But fundamental knowledge, basically knowledge of mathematics and physics, is very, very important. And using this fundamental knowledge, we can create a new idea also. So based on this, I can say this: we have in a computer science and engineering, this branch has a lot of scope, and this is an emerging area because many job prospect is available in this computer science group. And now computer science also push their boundary to the area of AI, ML, data science, and IoT. So we can also correlate this, everyone. The data science is also required for the computer science as well as AI, ML, as well as IoT also. Similarly, IoT also related to the computer science. So this is all are interdisciplinary, and in our institute, Techno India also have a computer science engineering specialization in AI, ML. Also, there is a IoT. There is a lot of scopes to study here in this area. So, and they are all are interrelated. So I can tell the students also, you can choose any of the course in our institute and other institute also.
Right.
Okay.
Thank you for your insights, sir. I'm sure it is very helpful for our students. So I would like to introduce one more expert to our show, Dr. Shushanto Kumar Parui. Sir, welcome to our show. Dr. Parui is a professor, Department of Electronics and Telecom Engineering, IIEST Shibpur. Sir, we are in this show talking about shaping your career dreams, where we, through our show, we are encouraging the students about how can they properly choose a stream and an institute. So I was waiting for you to join so that I can put my next question to you.
Yeah.
So what I would like to know from you, sir, is that a lot of students who are sharp and inclined towards physics are not guided enough to take up electronics as a career option, which is a very physics-based subject. So what, according to you, is the better way, choosing allied fields or choosing core electronics?
Yes. So can you hear?
Yes,
So,
yes.
Okay. So first thing, that is electronics is not the core subjects. Electrical engineering is the core subjects. Everything derived from their electrical science.
Right.
Same electronics, computer science, and other things. Nowadays, not only the electronics alone, they are combined with like electronics and communications, electrical and electronics, and there are some higher electronics and instrumentations. So basically, three broad area that connects, and people can choose their career, any one of it.
Right, right.
Actually, all belong to the electronics, and so normally these 3 branches normally we offer. I don't know in future maybe other derivatives will come out from there.
Right,
And
right.
everywhere there are requirements. Like just I tell you one thing is just like instrumentations. Now today's world, what are the instrumentations are there? So all are digital instrumentations like we
Right.
call PLC system, data acquisition systems, now DCS systems, that is real time computing, all are derived from this area, and there mostly we need electronics engineers.
Right.
So earlier there people offer electrical instrumentations. Now it is now turned to basically electronics and instrumentations. So like this. Same thing communications various branches like optical communications, different wireless communications,
Right.
high frequency communications, satellite communications. So everywhere there are opportunities and student can pursue for that. Okay.
Right.
So like in 5G technology, just I'll give you. So here, if you read, there are a lot of technology merged together, and major part, the hardware part, that is basically 5G, that is come from microwave and millimeter wave. These are the area that is really very, very useful nowadays.
Right. Thank you so much, sir. What I would like to know more is that is the classical physics still relevant in today's world?
Yeah, obvious.
It is. It is.
Obvious, because like in electronics you can call starting from the semiconductor physics. So solid, that we call solid state physics theory, basically more very essential part.
Right.
And other part there are a lot of mathematics, and sir is telling that computer science area that's also have a lot of mathematics. So physics, mathematics, and there are a lot of area is coming up from biological applications. Okay.
Right, right.
So like medical science, medical electronics, everywhere biology. So physics, chemistry, mathematics, biology. These are the science, all science part is very, very essential to pursue your career as electronics engineer.
Very true. Thank you so much, sir. So we have been joined by one more expert in our show, Dr. Nandini Mukherjee from Department of Computer Science Engineering, Jadavpur University. Welcome to the show, ma'am. What we are talking about here is we are letting our students know how to shape their career dreams. What stream should they choose? What should they prefer, college over stream or the stream over college? So since you are heading CSE at a very premier institution, Jadavpur, what is your view about it, ma'am? That should the, say for example, I asked Sudeshna ma'am also, that should the student choose stream over the institution, or he should go with his inclination and his interest? What do you think about that?
Actually, I don't think there would be a straightforward answer response to
That's
this
true.
particular
That's
question.
true.
Because obviously, one point is there. College is important, teaching quality and all these things are very important. But alongside, nowadays what is happening, specifically for certain subjects, job opportunities would be much more compared to some other subjects. So even though the students are passing from a particular student can prepare himself or herself through also, like online courses are there, many other avenues are there nowadays. Internet is helping a lot. So, but I still think college is very important, but still in certain cases like the particular discipline is also important. So, I just said I cannot say that college is always important. Say in a particular college where there is a subject, a discipline where there is no more job opportunities nowadays. So, in that case obviously the student will have to look for some other disciplines. I mean will have to compromise the college in that particular case. So, it is
Right. So, ma'am, Recently, the West Bengal joint result has been declared yesterday, and Jadavpur is the most sought after institution for the top rank joint holders. So, what is your expectation when those students join your institute? How do you start guiding them that they have just finished their school and came into such a premier institution to start their professional foundational career? So, what is your approach towards them?
First thing I always tell everyone, all the students, that you need to attend the classes.
Right.
And you need to be very serious to your studies, because you see, we teachers, we just don't teach I mean from textbooks or something like that. Most of our teachers have acquired lot of experiences through maybe 25-30 years of teaching.
Right.
Okay, so there are, I mean, the teachers are very experienced, particularly in institutions like Jadavpur, Calcutta, in all those institutions, in many other institutions. So that is the first thing. So students must attend the classes, and from the very beginning they should concentrate on their studies, because we find that in the first year, particularly after passing class 12, students become very reluctant to focus on the study. So first year they just skip classes and then do something else, maybe just because from school they step out to the college, so they think that they will spend time. But that should not, that they should not do. So first thing, from the very first day they should focus on their study, prepare for the examinations, class tests, everything. That is one thing. Secondly, in Jadavpur University particularly, we have lot of opportunities to focus on extracurricular activities, co-curricular and extracurricular activities. You know, we have many clubs, like starting from mountaineering, photography, then coding club, everything. There are a lot of clubs like this. So that is one opportunity for the students. Apart from studies, they can also focus in these activities. So that would give them great opportunity to mingle with students from other premier institutions and to share their ideas. We also have innovation cell. So all these things are there in the Jadavpur University. So I think these opportunities are available in many other colleges in West Bengal and outside West Bengal as well. So I would say that students, first thing, they should focus on their study, but along with that they should also they should also do or become familiar with certain things, extracurricular activities.
Right, right. Very truly said, ma'am, that a fine balance between the studies and the extracurricular activities is very important. Thank you so much, ma'am. So I'll next speak to Dr. Shankhayan Chaudhary. Dr. Chaudhary is professor and head CSE department, University of Calcutta, which is a huge and one of the oldest universities in India. These are our heritage. Sir, there are a plethora of courses in University of Calcutta, ranging from pure classical courses to the technical courses of engineering. Year after year we have been witnessing that these heritage values are unparalleled, right? And so engineering as an applied field, and since you are the faculty in the computer science engineering department, so sir, how will you differentiate between a regular BSc, MSc degree and a technical engineering degree is what I wanted to speak to you.
Actually, again the same point comes, the madam mentioned, it depends on the inclination. Initially, if we just see the 20-25 years back, then the high ranking students of after passing the graduation, because at that time the Calcutta University was offering the post BSc B.TECH course. It was a 3-year B.TECH courses. So at that time, after completion of the graduation, most of the good students are choosing the engineering faculty. But again, nowadays the situation is changing a little bit. But it's a unique experience on behalf of us, because we are the faculty, faculty of the Department of Computer Science Engineering under the engineering faculty. But at the same time, it's a unique experience that I would like to refer, that we are offering an MSc course in computer science. So that's not expected, because being a faculty of the engineering discipline, we should offer the B.TECH and M.TECH course in computer science and engineering. So we are offering that, but at the same time, so because the situation was totally different in context of the Calcutta University, lot of affiliated colleges are there under the Calcutta University, maybe more than 150 till date.
Yes.
So some of the colleges are offering the BSc in computer science. So that's why it's the compulsion on behalf of the Calcutta University that in 1998 we started the MSc in computer science. So parallelly till date, from our department we are offering the MSc in computer science and the B.TECH course in the computer science and engineering and the M.TECH course in computer science and engineering.
Right.
So what you can say, if we take the problem in context of the computer science, then you can say it's another opportunity to the students who are not studying the computer science, who are not getting the chance in the B.TECH in computer science and engineering, but they can, after completion of the BSc, so they can take the MSc course. And from our experience, what we can say, yes, as per the AICTE curriculum, there are some compulsion that we have to maintain within the engineering course.
Right.
That is not expected to be present in the science course. But ultimately, from the computing sense, the MSc students are almost covering the major papers, and from the jobs point of view, so as the foundation of the students are good, as their acquiring skills are good, so most of the companies are taking the MSc students also. Okay, so ultimately it matters whether they can adapt the skills. If their foundation is good, they are getting the job. So you can say that it's maybe an alternative opportunity to the students, so they can completed the MSc course in computer science, and they will get the job.
Okay, so since you spoke about the classical courses and their importance, so I would like to have one more suggestion from you, that would it be better for a student to have a degree in mathematics and then take lateral entry into CSE, or directly get into core CSE if as he or she wishes? That is the most important of his inclination. But do you think mathematics is that important?
Undoubtedly, mathematics is very important.
Right.
But I think within the most of the curriculum that I have done, so that part is included within the B.TECH course curriculum. And now probably after completion of the BSc in mathematics, so the chances, so scope is very limited to get admission in the B.TECH program. So I think nowadays, if it may not be possible in that sense, that the students have choose initially after completion of the degree in mathematics, what you would like to know, that if they would like to switch to the computer science, that becomes tough, I think.
Okay. So according to you, they should directly start with whatever.
Yes, the B.TECH course or some engineering course, because the basic ingredients from of the mathematics, those are needed for their future. That is available in the B.TECH course curriculum.
Okay, fine. Okay, thank you for that insight, sir. So we have by now spoken at length about engineering, mathematics, physics and electronics, and we have with us on the panel Dr. Onita Nandi from Calcutta Medical College. Dr. Nandi is Associate Professor at the very prestigious Calcutta Medical College, which is one of the oldest medical colleges of our country. So, ma'am, we all are aware that medical science is a vast field, and with very different subdivisions. But while engineering students choose their specialization at the entry level, the undergraduate level, in medical science, the students pursue the same course of the study, that is MBBS. It's only at the MD or MS level where they can choose their specialization domain. So could you offer us your thoughts on this and tell us a bit about how medical students should go ahead about choosing their special
Yes, ma'am. In the course of medical MBBS, a student has to go through 19 subjects during the 4 phases, 4 phases of the whole curriculum. So, in the first and second phase, we have the pre and the paraclinical subjects.
Okay.
Pre-clinicals are physiology, anatomy and biochemistry. Then paraclinical is the three subjects: pharmacology, microbiology and pathology. And after that, the clinical subjects are started. The basis of this course, this selection of these subjects is that when a student has to handle or deal with the patients, they should have the basic knowledge of all these 7 subjects.
Okay, right.
So, after completion of the MBBS, then a student can choose to become a general physician. That means, when a graduate student is competent enough to give the basic medicine, but when there are the questions of special treatments like the cardiology, surgical side, gynecology, all those subjects we have to go. We have to complete the MD or MS courses, then another 4 years of MBBS, then 1 year of rotatory internship, 5 years completed, then we have to sit for joint entrance for the choosing the particular subject, and then we can start the specialization courses.
Right. So, ma'am, what I would like to, let us assume that a student has prepared well, but he was not able to score a decent score in NEET. So, what are the other platforms where he can apply and choose his
The
domain other
students
than
who
MBBS?
actually sits for the medical exam, actually they love the life science.
Okay.
So, initially within that domain again 2 inclination, either a choice of dealing with the patient or going for the research work. In the other subjects, those 7 subjects other than anatomy, physiology, biochemistry, microbiology, pharmacology, these 4 subjects parallelly these are taught in the general section. That means the general microbiology,
Right.
physiology, and the domain of this from these subjects a student can choose a better career in the research work. During this COVID period, we have seen the rapid generation of the vaccine. It was very much needed. So, unless a student or a person is choosing the biotechnology or microbiology or pharmaceutical division, those who are clinical pharmacologists, that person can treat a patient.
Right.
At the same time, he can join a pharmaceutical company where the molecules are developed. Similarly, microbiology, clinical microbiologist, we are mainly engaged in detecting the disease process, disease agent, but whole thing research work on the polymerase chain reaction, sequencing by which the organisms are finally detected, those are under the domain of biotechnology. So, that research work is wholly done by the general microbiology and the biotechnology students. So, that is another domain the student can choose.
Okay. One more question which I had, ma'am, is what according to you is the most important subject that the student should emphasize on in class 12? Both for clearing the NEET or getting into an MBBS course and also for pursuing that course, because what I feel is in engineering a simple mistake has the privilege to be rectified either manually or by machines, but in the medical field the lives are at risk. So what are your thoughts about it? How do you prepare a student mentally and physically for this?
The recent training techniques, this is the on the visual screen the questions come both for the NEET UG, NEET PG.
Right.
The students are all oriented with getting the answer, 4 options, and from that they choose the right answer. So, our brain gives us stimulation that you have 4, you have the right to choose, but when we are teaching during our MBBS course or MD course, then we have to memorize. We are feeling that this power of the student is getting gradually diminished. They are always opting for the choice. So, we from the beginning of the first year, I am emphasizing that when you have to read by your eyes and you have to write by your finger, then you practice it in that way. That means you train your brain and you go through the books extensively, because right when a patient is critical, there is no option left in front of us.
Very
we have
true.
to memorize, we have to memorize our experiences, and then say just a example, the rash. We appeared, everyone knows that during the dengue period, there's some rash appear. There are varied type of rashes.
Right.
So when a patient comes, by looking at the nature of rash, I have to memorize what are the causes of this rash. So in that case, I have to memorize, and single mistake will divert me in the wrong track.
Very true, very true.
So that is the thing, when I am choosing my MBBS life, I have to know my single mistake not only lose a patient, a whole family may be ruined.
Right, very true.
So that is most important part of this subject. So that much sincerity to the subject should be present from the beginning.
Very true. Sincerity is more important. It's important in every field.
Every field.
But this field has
There is no question of correction.
Right, right, right.
There is no question of correction.
Right. I salute all the doctors, ma'am, including you, and I am sure your insights would be very helpful to the NEET aspirants as well as the students who are pursuing their MBBS. Sudeshna ma'am, I'll come back to you because a question is just strike in my mind when Nandini ma'am spoke about attendance. And in every institution, we are dealing with this attendance thing, that students are not very inclined towards attending classes because a lot of things are available over the internet nowadays. Would you like to speak about that?
This is a tricky issue that most of the teachers are grappling with, more so in recent years.
Right.
Because as you rightly said, there is so much of excellent material available on the internet. But there is a caveat, if I know that the student is not attending my classes, but spending that time fruitfully pursuing this, there should not be, other than my personal ego, there should not be so much complaints. But what happens is that the students are not, being physically in the classroom and being physically in contact with the teacher and the students. It is not just, as Professor Nandini Mukherjee said, it's not just what is written in the book or the slide, it is also the experience of the teacher, scope to interact and being immersed in the subject. If you sit alone in your room, first of all you may be diverted. Even if you are studying, it's a passive experience. So I think there is a tremendous value, especially at the undergraduate level, to the active experience of being in the classroom and participating in the studies. Unfortunately, we find that even just after higher secondary, when the students come in, because of the different social issues and how they prepare for their class 12, that inclination for the classroom has been diminishing over the years, and we see that there is a drastic change post COVID. Because during the COVID, most of the classes
were used to attend online,
students think that is the way to go, and I think that is not turning out to be good. And of course, it's very difficult to advise. People do not always prone to listen
Take kindly
to advice.
to the yes.
But I think attendance is extremely important. Not that I am the best teacher, and I'm sure that there are better teachers, better materials available on the internet. But being in the classroom, being immersed in that, thinking about that, I think that has an immense value, which cannot be made up by studying alone or. So this is extremely important.
Right, and most importantly, the lab classes, the laboratories cannot be substituted.
That's true, but the laboratories, when they have actually, in laboratories, when they're assigned something, they have to do.
Yes.
So there's less of a problem. Even if they are not attending, but if they are doing, they are learning. But in the theoretical aspects, I think attendance plays a very important part, at least when the student is young. For people who are experienced, when we have to nowadays learn continuously. When you are more mature, you can pick up. But fundamentals, when you are learning, being in the classroom, not just with the teachers, with the fellow students, I think that is extremely important.
Right, right. Very true, ma'am. Sir, I'll come back to Dr. Gautam Paul, sir. So, what I would like to know, sir, since you are the head of the cryptography department, so things emerging fields like cyber security and degrees in them, are they equally relevant, and can you compare them with the core degrees of, like, there is no comparison, but what is the relevance of parallelly both the fields, if you speak about that?
So what is happening is that previously B.TECH used to be in the core computer science, right? And whatever specialization was there, whether it is cryptology or AI or some other discipline, it used to be at the postgraduate level, both the masters and beyond the PhD level. Now, as computer science is developing more and more, so it is expanding, and therefore there are so much materials not possible to cover, and naturally the branching is happening. And just like maybe 20 or 30 years back, from the mother subject electrical engineering, electronics and communication engineering came, and then eventually computer science and engineering came. So now that is more or less settled. The problem is that now, because it is the juncture, this branching is happening actually now, and we are sitting in that era. The issue is that, say, after 10 years from now, when things are settled, job opportunities also would have settled, and system would be stable, right? So that time these specializations would have a more meaningful impact, and also it will give more opportunity to the students to pursue their career. So if someone is not getting one discipline because of one rank or something, the same student might get an allied discipline or a specialized discipline under that in another institute. Now what we find is that because these B.TECH level specializations are coming new, so the syllabus across different universities are not yet normalized. And also because these are offshoots of core computer science subjects, now there is weightage, because the time is limited, right? It is only 4 years and 8 semesters.
Right.
So you have to give enough importance to the core computer science subject also during the B.TECH level, because those will give you necessary tools, necessary knowledge in order to solve a problem in any specialized discipline, right? So you can't do away with that.
Very true.
So when we see that students are coming to do masters from a specialized B.TECH course, then often this core competence or core knowledge is missing. Right. It's not always the case. I'm not generalizing, but sometimes we find that. So my recommendation to students would be that even if you are following a specialized B.TECH, let's say within computer science, if you are doing B.TECH in AI/ML, or you are doing B.TECH in cyber security or something, do not ignore the core subjects. Right. So you should give a strong importance to the core computer science subject, particularly algorithm, data structure, operating system, etc. So that now you may not realize, but later on when you do specialized studies, whether at the postgraduate or at the doctoral level, these core subjects will come to help actually. Those will be used even in the specialized domain. So that is what I would like to comment.
I somewhat got your gist, which is important. I'll move on to Professor Amarnath Maulik. Professor Maulik is the Dean of Research, Techno India University, and ex-professor IIEST Shibpur. So, sorry, NIT Durgapur. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. So, sir, I would like to ask you about engineering and mathematics. What, according to you, I am sure mathematics is a very important domain for people who are pursuing engineering. How would you like to elaborate on that?
This is a very pertinent question. Mathematics is a part and parcel of the engineering course. All the engineering branches basically they require a strong mathematics acumen. And apart from that, basically nowadays some of the engineering courses like your electrical engineering and other courses they require some advanced mathematics also. So basically, as we know that application of science is basically we know as a engineering. Similarly, in case of mathematics, there are the two branches are there, pure mathematics and applied mathematics. This applied mathematics is normally used in the engineering field, and in applied mathematics basically there are the two different areas are there. One is a nonlinear mathematics, another one is a nonlinear algebra, another is a linear algebra. Nonlinear algebra is basically, it is very much required for the core subject like your mechanical engineering, electrical engineering, as because mostly these vibrations and reciprocations, all these things basically depends on your nonlinear mathematics. But the linear mathematics basically nowadays is widely used in a soft computing area. So you can say that mathematics acumen is very much required for all the engineering students.
Right. So, would you like, sir, I asked this to sir also, that is a degree in mathematics important before they pursue this, or like they can, take both of the things together forward?
No, it is not exactly required. Degree in mathematics is not a prerequisite for the engineering courses. But in your nowadays basically the syllabus has been changes, as because most of the colleges or university, when they are basically opting for 160 credit hours courses, in that case basically they require 4 papers of mathematics. That is the mandatory.
So, sir, right now the programming languages are the buzzwords for the students like Python, C, Java, and all.
That is basically that is nowadays it is very required.
Yes, yes. Well, can you speak about its importance, sir?
Nowadays basically the Pythons and all these basically programming languages is nowadays required for data analytics, and in future basically for your AIML, all these things basically that nowadays it's very much essential, as at least the students for the core area, they have some like your extracurricular activity, they can develop their skill in the particular this language.
Okay, okay. I'll come to Dr. Prosenjit Chaudhary again, sir. So, since mathematics and engineering is your special domain, so would you like to add on to what sir has said? How relevant is mathematics in today's engineering, crazy world?
As sir already told, that is, for basic science math tool, that is engineering, math is a part and parcel of engineering.
Right.
Without competence in mathematics, we cannot succeed in engineering. Okay, so this is the basic requirement. Actually, we must have enough knowledge in math, and particularly these days you see, because of the emergence of data science and different other disciplines. Okay, so for example, particularly in data science, AI and machine learning, it is very much mandatory to know linear algebra, calculus, statistics.
Right.
So without this much knowledge, it is very difficult to understand AI/ML.
Very true.
So as I already told you, that is, if a student is good in math, he is having these days he is having many options. Okay, he can succeed even if he can do, that is, if he did not get any good marks in joint entrance, then he can enroll BCA or MCA courses. There are great career opportunities.
Okay, sir. So, talking about the languages, so is it possible to teach Python first through data structure implementation to build skill levels, or directly we go to,
You see, I learned computer science many years back, right?
Right, right.
So what I did, that is, don't start learning Python first. Try to understand the data structure, algorithm, and particularly C language. That Python will be that. Then they can learn Python.
Okay. Directly going
They
to
cannot get the flavor of these days what the people are doing actually. If you give a assignment, for example, if you give an assignment to implement a recommender system, what they are doing, they are downloading the code from the GitHub and other sources.
Okay.
And some libraries are there, inbuilt libraries are there in Python. So without developing the algorithm from the scratch, they are using the library.
Okay.
So it is not added that much knowledge.
Okay. So you advise on starting with C, and then
I think first fundamental programming language they should learn.
coming from you, it should be the word.
I have
right?
started from Pascal.
Right, right. Okay, okay, okay. Okay, so ma'am, I'll come to Sudeshna ma'am. So you are from one of the top IITs. So after graduating from the college, what kind of scope or what doors are opened for the candidates in general? Like,
Okay, again, if I talk about computer science, people who graduate from computer science has a lot of different types of career options. One can go for general software engineering. There are many people who go for careers in artificial intelligence or machine learning, some who go for cryptography, security. There are many nowadays who can opt for interdisciplinary subjects, because in any interdisciplinary team, interdisciplinarity is very important to develop large systems.
right.
You require people from different domains, and a computer scientist is also very important in most interdisciplinary teams. And then there are aspects of computer engineering, cyber physical systems, embedded systems. So there are various options, and I think an undergraduate, as a part of the undergraduate, even if one has a degree in core computer science, some of them would have inclination of certain specializations, and they would have taken electives or prepared themselves if they are so inclined to go for some specific topics. And of course, many people go for software engineering or different, software engineering or the critical thinking, computer science, the way of, learning programming, the logical thinking, that gives them a unique opportunity to work on different aspects of decision sciences
Right.
and algorithms. So people go for different domains, like some people go in the domain of finance, and different people, there are various opportunities in domains if one wants to go for interdisciplinary fields. So yeah, there are lots of options.
Okay. Talking about interdisciplinary fields, I'll come back to EC, to Dr. Parui. As Dr. Nandi spoke about, mixing different fields together, like right now it's the age of interdisciplinary courses. So what according to you, sir, like a lot of electronics knowledge is required in designing biomedical instruments. Right. So, if we talk about that, what is the relevance or what is the requirements for being a good, medical programmer, according to you?
No, actually, the medical science.
Right.
You can start from the X-ray. So, MRI or everything.
Right.
There are a lot of electronics parties there. So, like image processing,
Yes.
different type of signal processing. Like for medical science, the applications mostly instrumentation. That is low power devices.
Right.
Immune system, noise immune systems for that. So they have a lot of this sort of signal processing, image processing there. That's why different type of signal processors are there. And one thing that is that problem comes there. So in electronics, in different field, we are getting a lot of well-defined simulators. Very costly simulators are there.
Right, right.
So student, that is very interesting to work with. So students first jump to there. So I want to go to the simulators. And when they make some programming or some data from the simulators, even SPICE software also. So they are concentrated there because they are young, so they are interested there. But the foundations to work with there. So that is very, very much. Sir also told in this dimension. So when you learn the whole subjects,
Right.
then when you use that simulator, then you have the whole thing, you can club together and you can be a good engineer. But don't take the classes sincerely, but jump to the laboratory and use the all commercial softwares, that is like graphical user interface, other things are there. Like just telling for my area, I am working like satellite communication antenna like this area. They also earlier, like 10 years back, there is no simulators. We use C programming to do that. Now a lot of high cost instrument has come over there, simulators have come. So people are jumping there. They design an antenna and they are telling that I am expert of antenna. Again, when they really enter into research or in industry, when we put there, they cannot deliver anything. So that is the bad part of it. So you have the tool, but the foundations you should build first, then go for that. That is my advice to the students.
Right, right.
There is no shortcut methods. Okay.
Definitely. Sir, talking about students, if I speak from students' point of view, say a student is good both at physics and biology, but somehow he or she did not crack any joint. So, is there any opportunities in the biomedical field for him or her?
No, actually, like biophysics, biochemistry,
Right.
similarly in electronics related there are some areas, but all are like one part is the research which they can do doing the conventional MSc in electronics. So like computer science, Calcutta is also offering MSc in electronic science, because we have number of colleges they are giving BSc in electronic science. So university have forced to make MSc in electronics, and electronic science have a separate department, and they are initially derived from Institute of Radiophysics and Electronics in Calcutta University. Okay, and they are giving MSc, and you find a lot of teachers are there in IITs like IIT Bombay and others. They are passed out from the MSc in electronics.
Okay.
And they are doing the career in IITs, and in industry also they are working. But now the government rule is like that, by pursuing MSc in electronics, you cannot teach engineers.
Okay.
Now it is very tough by learning MSc in electronics, even you go over PhD, but still you cannot get a job in engineering college. So that thing as it comes. Okay.
Okay, okay, I got it, sir. So, sir, as he talked about radio physics, sir, I'll come back to Dr. Shankhayan Chaudhary, that like in Raja Bajar Science College, in radio physics department, they offer a course in physics where you graduate with a B.TECH degree in physics and you have an engineering degree. Is it like that? It's not.
like
Can
that.
you please
Yes.
elaborate on that?
So, Rajabaja Science College is one campus of the Calcutta University. So, radio physics and electronics department is just now sir mentioned in the engineering faculty. So, initially all the department under the engineering faculty offered the post BSc BTech courses. Initially it was there, but since 2015 all the departments we have started the 4-year BTech. So now we are taking the students from the joint entrance examination. So name of the department is still now, initially the degree was BTech in radio physics and electronics,
Yes.
but now it's the degree in the BTech in ECE
Okay.
offered by the radio physics department. Yes.
Yes, please, sir.
Actually, around 50% students come from 4-year conventional course after class 12.
Okay.
From joint entrance, and rest 50% come as a lateral entry after doing the physics, 3 years physics or physics honors.
But from
They are
now,
coming.
I would like to add one thing. From this year,
Yeah.
100% student will come from the joint.
Oh, this year, okay.
Okay. Sir, you were adding something? Would you like to add something?
Actually, I am student of that department. That's why
Okay.
I know the past, not recent
Yeah, yeah.
also. So earlier it was MSc Tech first, then M.Tech, just dual degree, B.TECH, M.TECH combined. Then split to B.TECH and M.TECH like this thing. 4-year M.TECH, then B.TECH.
Now
and
still it becomes feasible, but only for the 10% student in the, they will come as a lateral entry in the second year.
Like in our engineering colleges, diploma engineers, diploma in electronics,
Same
they
way.
come as a lateral entry. So it around 10%.
Yes.
Every year they are joining in the
So now it is going to be
second year.
restricted to the 10%.
Yeah,
From
only
this year.
10%.
Okay, sir. So, my next question is for Professor Maulik. So, since you are from a core engineering mechanical background, how do you think non-linear mathematics can be taught to students so that, it's easier for them to learn engineering through mathematics?
Oh, there are certain prerequisite courses out there. First, you have to taught the prerequisite courses. After that, you go for, like nowadays, most of the colleges basically they have the open elective courses. Basically, these open elective courses is offered by the mathematics department or physics department, other than the core department.
Right.
So in that case, basically you can offer this type of courses, like so that that is the knowledge of the student they can be enhanced.
Okay. Dr. Chaudhary, can you speak about the same for linear mathematics? Like sir spoke for non-linear, linear which is mainly used for soft computing
No,
and.
sir just now mentioned just before this question that
Okay.
the linear algebra, all these things, these are one of the essential component in context of the soft computing.
Right.
But so until the students is not preparing the foundation, so it may not be possible to apply the tool. Maybe just now the Professor Paul has mentioned that whenever he or she is working in the domain in the AI, so he would like to use some specific tool. But for applying the tool, the foundation should be there. So this foundation may come from this mathematics part. So in that context, the linear algebra plays an important role.
Very true. Sir, we also know that through the programming clubs over here at Techno India University and also Techno Main Salt Lake, that students are exposed to a lot of hackathons and competitions like ICPC, and they find a platform to code by themselves. Along with that, a lot of online platforms are also available, and those who are interested, they go through that also. So TIU also has a center of interdisciplinary innovation where many students from various departments are encouraged to work on projects together. Which do you think is more appropriate for a student to work on a project relating to just their department or on projects which involve multiple departments? Nandini ma'am, can you elaborate on this?
Related, I mean, basically nowadays interdisciplinary things are coming up. So everywhere, wherever you find, for example, whenever we are talking about AI ML, basically AI ML are being applied to various fields, like starting from medical, then other agriculture.
Right.
There are so many areas where we can atmospheric condition, etc., pollution prediction. Lot of areas are there where we can apply computational techniques. I am just taking an example. Similarly, in other disciplines also you will find that we can actually nowadays focusing more on interdisciplinary studies, interdisciplinary areas, combining maybe AIML with mechanical, say for example, mechanical aspects of vehicles or aeroplanes, etc.
Right.
So I think students, it would be, I mean, for presently whatever research is going on throughout the world, it would be more prudent to focus on interdisciplinary projects. That is more, I mean, obviously there will be more job opportunities if the students learn interdisciplinary areas or get some experiences in the interdisciplinary areas.
Also, ma'am, what according to you is the most important subjects that should be emphasized for first year students so that it supports other prerequisite subjects?
In which area? In engineering overall?
Yes.
Overall engineering, obviously, as everyone said, mathematics. Mathematics is required always for engineering studies. And the second subject, if you ask me, I think physics would be the second one where students must focus. We have physics, I mean, I am not saying, although we have coding, I mean, computer programming as first year subject, but that is also important. I mean, for common first year, there are several subjects, mathematics, physics, chemistry, workshops are there, then computer programming and numerical methods. So all these subjects are there for common first year programs. I mean, this is as per AICTE guideline. But obviously mathematics is a subject which would be needed for engineering studies in any discipline. So that is the first thing. Second, obviously physics, which will also be needed in many of the engineering disciplines, and also students must be acquainted with computer programming, because that is also nowadays that is becoming very important for all the engineering studies.
Very true. Sir, so yes sir, please.
Mathematics and physics always very important and necessary. Nowadays there is another area also maybe introduced. Some of the academician also suppose this is the biology, because there is a lot of application of AIML and this subject to the biological science or medical science. AIMS also trying for that to introduce some AIMS also trying for introduce these AIML subjects in a medical science. That's why this biology course to introduce that may be optional in a first year course, but there is a lot of application in the area of biology, in the area of medical science or biotechnology. So we can introduce this biology in the first year course also.
Okay. So, in engineering, core engineering, how would you like to incorporate that subject, sir?
In a core engineering, mathematics always very much
It's there,
necessary,
yes.
and then physics, and after that nowadays biology you can introduce the biology. So one of the optional subject. That
Okay.
maybe there is a lot of application.
Of
And
course.
medical science, all the aims are trying to introduce. They already introduced this subject AIML application in medical science. So there is a lot of scope for the research in this area. Many aims collaborate with the IIT. I know very much this aims Guwahati also collaborate with IIT Guwahati.
Okay.
And there is a separate division to study or work on this area, research on that area. So that's why many educationists and researcher, they are just try to introduce this biology in any semester, one of the semesters.
Okay.
Actually, there is a famous quote that all biology is chemistry, all chemistry is physics, and all physics is mathematics. So mathematics is a subject which connects all of them, and particularly for biology, bioinformatics or computational biology,
Bioinstrumentation,
or
yes.
genetics. So all these have heavy applications of mathematics
true.
as well. So I would say as you go higher studies beyond undergraduate, ultimately all these disciplines, be it biology or physics or chemistry or engineering, they are all intermixed together.
Right.
So ultimately it's a scientific thought and engineering problem solving approach.
The major problem comes like 4 years, you can tell 8 semesters, you are putting other things. Accommodate subjects, that is really important. Earlier, like there was a subject called Basic Electrical Engineering, Basic Electronics, and Introduction to Computing, the course there. Finally, people now
Now they are
decided
combined.
they removed the Basic
Electronics and
Electronics because they told them we don't afford. Actually,
No, now actually in many of the syllabus I found electronics and electrical are combined.
Yeah.
There is one subject 50% basic electronics and 50% basic electrical, again common first year program.
Okay.
That is
Like
taught.
earlier, computer science and electronics, they used to have common first year, courses all throughout. And then slowly the divergence
now
happened.
also common first year courses, again as I said.
Nowadays, basically in the first year, all the courses are common, and as per AICTE rule, environmental science and life science, the two are the mandatory courses in the first year.
Right.
earlier drawing was the
Engineering
compulsory.
drawing.
Now still there.
No, engineering
drawings.
drawing is still there.
Still there. So that is the major problem. So because if you go for second year and third year, the number of subjects, variety subjects are there. We have to accommodate there. Otherwise, like fourth semester, fifth semester, sixth semester, they will departmental heavy subjects they are learning. No? And again, after 7 semesters, so students are now they are able to concentrate. So we have to go within 7 semesters because then campus interview is running. So 8 semester we try to make them slightly less loaded so that they can complete.
Moreover, now AICT is encouraging to introduce internship for 6 months. So if internship is being introduced in the final semester, so actually we cannot teach any subject in the final semester.
No, in NIC Durgapur particularly, 8 semester is completely internship. Okay, they are going to companies and they are attending the class online and coming back to the campus for the exam.
And companies are also very much interested to take them during that period. I mean, internship. Companies are now.
And I found many students actually they didn't get job in campus interview. They went for internship, and after coming back, they came with an offer letter with attractive salary.
Many institutes introduce in the 8th semester
Fully internship.
So
In
that
our
means
case also.
And
to,
project.
for getting core subject, you don't have that. We can afford. That is the thing.
Initially, core subject is completed within the 7th semester, and some elective subjects are there in the 8th
Actually,
semester.
5 semesters. First year common first year program. So you have only second year 2 semesters, third year 2 semesters, and
Right.
fourth year 1 semester.
Even recent time I found that so projects was neglected because students are so stressed in 7th and 8th and for internship, job, interview, etc. So they cannot concentrate in the project. And again, project we have the rule, project should be in the departments. You can take the assistance from others, but you cannot make the project in other institute or other organizations. You have to be a internal guide. You must have an internal guide so that he can like this monitor regularly. That is the thing. So
And in our in NIT Durgapur for MTech students also, 1 year theory course and mini project is there, and final year, last year they can do the project in the department itself, or they can do the project outside.
outside also.
So I think the internship
that's
and the
why
project, it has to be combined. Otherwise, if it is separate,
That's why
then
there
it's
is
a big
a
problem.
scope of elective subject. We can start the elective subject from 4th semester or 3rd semester.
So then the students will be overburdened.
Open elective is normally started for
it
5th
is-
semester.
No, this is now rule. It may be introduced. So whatever may be the choice of the student, that can be implemented.
And another
It is
problem
a
I
big
found
also.
recent time. So I don't know actually. I am just asking you also. So sometimes students coming from rich family, they are going to coaching center, class 11 and 12, or for special coaching for JEE main or JEE advanced like this thing. So they are everything they are customized like this thing. So they expect same thing from the department. So they need some coaching from other places. So they don't consider the class. They 11 and 12 they don't go to the class. They go to the coaching center, and that habit they are like come over here. So they are not much interested to come to that class.
They have learn how to become successful, how to crack the joint. They learn the skill to crack the joint,
Okay, yeah.
right? But in nowadays, actually, there was no such coaching centers are there. So we need to study the books only. So they are going for mock tests and other. They learn to crack the joint and getting the. Because the competition, there is no other option actually.
And another thing, the modern tools like earlier we use overhead projectors, then PPT. Now we are getting for smart board. So that sometimes teacher gets some relief, but student also again diverted sometimes. Sometimes we are don't put much effort. We are showing in the PPT that you learn from there, and that isn't actually entering. So sometimes I think there is.
Talking about smart, Professor Malik. So virtual lab is a very big thing right now in computer science engineering. But since you are from core mechanical background, what do you think about this concept in civil or say mechanical? Your
That can be
stream?
done. That can be done.
Wh-
That can be done in some of the institute. I have seen in IIT Guwahati as well as IIT that is in Kanpur. They do the fluid mechanics lab as a virtual mode
Okay.
because there are some costly machine out there. That machine they can generate data. They can do the virtual lab.
Okay. Is it relevant in those fields also?
It depends. It depends how we basically trained up your student. It depends.
Okay. I have a question for Dr. Paul. So we know that there are many online courses offered by say NPTEL, Coursera, EDX, etc. And no doubt that these are very effective learning instruments. But how much is the impact of these in the practical, scenario?
So practical scenario means in the job field.
That's what I meant.
No, I would say that those as reference courses, those are good because ultimately there is no substitute of classroom teaching, right? So all these different platforms these are in video mode, or there are lecture notes available for download or online view. Now that does not give the ambience and the flavor of the classroom teaching.
True.
And that importance is still there, right? So what I would say that those courses can be taken up as an alternative reference course if the students have difficulty in understanding some concepts in the class, because all the teachers may not be equally proficient in explaining in the same way, right? So different flavors of the same topic that might help the student to understand the concept, but it should be restricted only to that. Otherwise it cannot be the substitute of the classroom teaching. That is my opinion.
Very true. So now we are coming towards the end of this show. So I would like all of you to give a one-line advice to all the aspirants out there who are yet to choose their career paths, who are yet to enter a college, or who are pursuing their first years in they are also new to the job course. So I'll start with you, sir, Dr. Proshenjit Chaudhary.
So first thing to get the success, you see, first I told you that is first branch, selection of branch based on your interest. Try to select the branch based on your interest. Then try to, both are the important, branch and institute, both are the important factors, and relative importance depends on your preferences, your goal, etc., etc. So what, after selecting the branch, what my suggestion is that try to attend the classes regularly. If you have any doubt, try to clear the doubt. Be in touch with your teachers. It will help you to build your career. That's all.
Thank you, sir. Professor Molly.
Okay. Engineering is basically a least resistant path to get a degree compared to the other general courses. If you attend 75% classes, and if you just go through your class notes every day in the evening after returning from the college, it is obviously you can be able to secure 75% marks in your semester. That's all.
Shankar, sir.
So there is no conflict between the core and the specialization. Try to concentrate on the core, and then you will certainly get the success in the specialized domain.
Right, Dr. Paul.
So what I would like to say is that most of the students view the JEE or IIT, NEET, those exams as the goal or the destination. So after that everything is achieved, and so they assume that
they channelize their energy in preparing for the entrance only.
And also they assume that now we have entered into irrespective of the college or irrespective of the discipline, we have got what we wanted. So eventually we will pass the course and eventually we will get some job. So I would like to suggest that don't take that view. This is not the destination, but this is the beginning, right? So, and this is the prime time where you learn all the essential concepts, not only for your career but also for your life. The engineering problem solving approach actually helps you to solve or troubleshoot problems in life as well. And of course for career also, this is the prime time, right? So don't ignore that, and take it as a lesson.
Thank you so much, sir. Yes. Professor Chakraborty.
So all the students, I just give you some advice that after entering in the first year, after entering to the first year classes, you just try to gather information from the classes, and you understand that the problem, you try to apply that problem, you try to analyze this problem and evaluate that problem, and then try to create some new thing. That is the knowledge you have to acquire from the class. If you are motivated, if you are very much interested to that subject, you can do that. And that is my advice to the student, because knowledge is the most important, I have already said. So to acquire this knowledge, this is the only road to achieve this.
Right, very true. Dr. Nandi.
Yes. One advice to the students who are aspiring for the new career. First, the subject is to be first the subject when he or she is choosing, it is according to the love for the subject. Unless there is love, the career will be a burden. The subject will be a burden. And if any student chooses the path to be a doctor, very hard life, almost 8 to 10 years is passed to complete the specialization, and during the MBBS course a huge amount of study period is required, and the enjoying the life is divided of, we are divided of the any sort of enjoyment of the life, because we have to study, like the lawyer have to go through the huge books. So that is to be we have to prepare ourselves, bearing in the mind that unless we acquire the knowledge we cannot treat the patient. So through a MBBS period we have even up to the MD, and after that it is the postdoctoral courses are becoming very frequent. Under MBBS, MD and the postdoctoral, this is the total course period, and this part is over, then the never the unless the doctor is suffering from Alzheimer, he or she can treat the patient. Whole life income, whole life treatment and whole life the passion of for the patient can be maintained, unless he is or she is physically unable. So that can be achieved, and not only the MBBS, the research work also provides the same opportunity.
Very true. Dr. Shorka.
I think very well said. First of all, once you choose a discipline, develop a love for it. Try to love your subject and find those aspects that you are passionate about, so that you can prepare yourself for a marathon career. And for this, while it is important to attend classes, learn from the classroom experience, you need to keep your eyes and ears open to know what is happening in the world, so that you can prepare yourself, find new things to challenge yourself. Also, it is very important to make the best of your college experience. Look at what is it that you can gain from the college, which will help in your professional and personal growth. It is important for most people to have a balanced life, where they have balanced their curricular and extracurricular activities, which make them better suited to face the world and for a good career in the years to come. So enjoy what you are doing, then you will be suitable.
Thank you, ma'am. Very beautifully put together. Dr. Paroi.
Yes, first thing that I like to share that student should not be biased. So I think all engineering have some importance in the society, and everything is very important. So choose whatever opportunity you get, you take it positively and you concentrate. There is a lot of things there around us, so we can divert. So better concentrate for 4 years. You need to give hard effort to succeed, and you will succeed. So nothing can replace the hard working. Okay, that is required for 4 year course.
Professor Mukherjee.
I would advise the students that at this juncture, choose the option which you find at this moment. Whatever options are available, choose the best from those, and don't think that okay, I didn't get the best option, or I dreamed for some other option which I didn't get. Don't think that because nowadays there are lot of opportunities to change the discipline. You can always work in interdisciplinary areas, and you can always move to some other areas. You will get more focused to an area which you have never thought of maybe earlier. So choose the option which is now at your hand. Obviously you need to make a trade-off between college as well as discipline, but then from there you concentrate on the study for 4 years, and then you will find that you will be able to go to some other areas or choose some other areas which will be best at that moment.
Thank you so much, ma'am. So, as I close the curtains of this show, I thank all the experts who have been kind enough to grace our university and talk about their experiences and share their inputs with us. I'm sure the students who are viewing our show will benefit a lot in many ways, and those who are not watching the live can also play back it later, and I'm sure they'll get so many insights and inputs about how to choose their career, how to value their inclination, how to pursue research or pursue foundational courses further. And I'm very thankful to all the experts who have shared their opinions with us. I'm honored to share the screen with them. And please stay tuned in to our official YouTube and Instagram channels, where we'll live telecast our other show on the 14th of June, which will be based on engineering and mathematics. And I'm sure you'll benefit more with that also. With this, I close the show and wish all of you a very good night.